Am I a choleric, sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic, or I'm just me? Hello, thinkers, and welcome again to another interesting discussion as we'll be wrapping up on the personality discussion. You see, I get it. Because you could have been exposed to different discussion around personality type or temperament, or perhaps you've even taken a personality test and you've detected that you have a strong developed personality. And you shouted, "That's me! Oh, that is so me." But what if you are not just one personality type? What if you are a mix of one, two, three, or even four of all the personality types? Yes, you can actually have more than one personality type. Every individual has what is called strongly developed personality type. And also, you can also have more than one strongly developed personality type. What is even developed personality type? Let's dig into it a bit. A developed personality is when certain traits become refined. It is consistent and easily recognizable in your behavior over time. It becomes your default way of how you relate, how you respond, how you lead, how you generally show up or do things in general. And here is what I'm trying to say here. A choleric takes charge without hesitation. They jump into it like it's their thing, and they are easily spotted with that charisma or that personality trait. A sanguine would light up the room with charm, laughter, because they know how to talk. They know how to sweet things and make things come to life. A melancholy thinks deeply and notices what others miss. And lastly, we have the phlegmatic who brings calm, patience, and emotional safety. These are traits, personality traits that are strong and show that you fall in each of those category. You get what I mean? Truly, you can actually be easily boxed by people or even yourself um, in a particular personality type based on how strongly developed that personality type is. But like I said, you can actually have more than one strongly developed personality type. Why is that so? Why can't you just have one personality type and that would be it? What are the factors that influences this? Let's take a look at them. One of the reasons where you can have different personality traits is nature. Your temperament at birth can actually influence this. We had mentioned this in one of the videos earlier, the building of life, where we talked about the formation of your genes. You get 46 chromosomes from your parents, 23 from your father, 23 from your mother, which makes a total of 46. However, the 23 you got from your mother might be dominant, while the 23 you got from your father might be recessive. You get what I mean? So one might be dominant than the other, and it can make you have a mix of personality traits. I hope what I'm saying makes sense here. Now that we've talked about nature, let's talk about nurture. That is how you were raised. Your environment is very significant to how you utilize your personality, right? Okay, so let's look at it from this angle. A playful child that is raised in a very strict home might change its personality from being playful or from being a sanguine to a melancholy. And what I'm trying to say here is this child could have been stopped several times to stop playing, to stop expressing or asking questions. So this child, in order to conform to the to the rules of the home would withdraw back and start to utilize another personality that is not his or her, which is called persona. Persona is the mask we all wear to navigate the world. Imagine a child that goes to school and is extraordinarily playful. And when this child gets home, it is so calm and quiet. This child is utilizing a persona personality. And okay, if it's an adult, right? A personal personality could be that an individual goes to work and would need to act bold in meeting because he or she needs that leadership skill. And when this person gets home, he or she is so reserved and calm at the same time. That could be a personal personality at play. Another interesting one here is life roles and responsibility. Sometimes life demands a version of you that you did not come naturally with. So take for instance a child who is the first child of a children of six, right, would naturally fall into that leadership role by force or by fire. You get what I mean? That is life roles and responsibility at play because you have to lead others that you have behind you. And also talk about the caring part of it. You also might not be a phlegmatic that is so much caring and lives with so much emotion. But because you are the first child of a family, you might actually need to fall into that personality type or trait because of the position you are in that family. And lastly on the segment is the intentional growth or self-development. And really, I so much love this because of the intentionality that it is backed with. Now, if you're self-aware of your strengths and weaknesses of your personality, and you have the interest of turning your weakness into strength, that is what this is really all about. A melancholy may want to learn to be more spontaneous or add some more fun, like a sanguine, just because of the nature of his or her work. So if a melancholy is a teacher and you want to teach your students and you feel like you don't want to be too boring for them, the intentionality about wanting to learn how to create more fun into learning because nobody wants to learn without fun, that intentionality about improving or turning your weakness into strength is also a factor that can influence your personality traits. So in all, you're not just one personality type, and you can be, but you can be a unique blend of different traits. That is, different personality, shaped by your genes, your story, and choices. That is the beauty of human being. Be thinkers, if you like what you've been hearing, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment in the comment section. Let's make this more interactive. This is the fuel that gets me going. This is where I know that this is actually adding value to the world at large. Thank you. And one more gift. I am going to be adding the questionnaires to help you determine your strong personality type in the comment section. So get into the comment section, answer those questions, and determine where you belong, determine your strengths and your weaknesses so you can help balance it and it will help you navigate life. Catch you there. Thank you. At first, personality seems to me like a fixed label, like you are put in a box where you identify who you are, your personality traits, and you go on with life like that. But no, because as I have grown, I have realized that personality traits goes beyond that. Your personality isn't a box. It is a base. You can grow beyond it and balance it through self-development and life experiences. You might be wondering, what is she saying or where is she driving this conversation to? What I am trying to say in simple terms is it is beneficial to identify your strengths, which can stem from your self-developed personality. But the beauty actually lies in recognizing your weaknesses as well. Your weaknesses in your strength, that is in your self-developed personality, and your weaknesses in all other personality types, strength that you don't have. So it's identifying your strengths and also identifying your weaknesses and trying to bring up your weaknesses to a point of strength, which can help you navigate life more, even more better. So this is what I'm trying to say. If you have identified your self-developed personality as a sun green, you know that is your strength. However, you also need some certain traits of other personality type that you don't have, which are your weaknesses. Try and self-develop them so you can try to create a balance with all of these personality traits that you have developed. Our did you know section. So did you know persona was coined by Carl Jung to describe the social marks people wear. You know, we talked about what persona can be. It is that social masks we wear differently at different times depending on where we are. But modern psychology acknowledges the difference between the situational behavior and core personality, especially in social psychology and identity research. Did you know that? Interesting. Now you know. Be thinkers. Did you also know that your temperament or your personality type can also determine your parenting style? So take for instance, a choleric can be known as an authoritative and commanding parent. And this is actually very important because it helps you to know when you're making a decision about your spouse. One of the things that I have realized that causes issues in a marriage is parenting. So you also want to know what kind of personality is your spouse. As such, it will help you determine what their parenting style would be. So at the beginning of your courtship, you would have had a better understanding, sit together and discuss what parenting would be like for you as a couple. Maybe we should do another video on that so we expatiate and have a better understanding of how temperament can also influence your parenting style. I'll think about it and bring it up to life. I just wanted to share that just because we've been talking about personality and it seems like we are rounding up on personality. But it seems this is another good discussion that also helps to determine why you act the way you act. We're going to talk about it some other time. Thank you. Bye for now. Why is it even needed for you to brush up your weaknesses to a point of strength? It is important to be able to balance this up because it helps you become more flexible in navigating through life, depending on the season of life that you are. Let's put this into a better perspective. Let's talk about Sam. Sam is a choleric and he is leading a project with his team. His main focus is for himself and his team to surpass the target and be more successful on their project. He's focused on the win. He's focused on the success. He's focused on the project win in general. So Sam is so focused on the team's win and not focusing on the team's morale. The team's morale is so low. Sam needs to learn some certain things from other personality type. Talk about the phlegmatic, who is high in emotional intelligence, because Sam needs to slow down at times, listen and build relationships. This aid in team bonding and understanding people's limits. Not everybody can work at the same pace that Sam can actually work on. He needs to learn the skill from a phlegmatic. Sam might also want to learn from the sanguine how to encourage and help boost his team's morale. Cholerics are too task focused, but sanguines know how to motivate with joy. Sam can learn to celebrate small wins and keep the team emotionally energized. Sam might also want to learn a personality trait from the melancholy. Melancholy are for depth, detail, and thoughtful planning, whereas a choleric move fast, but melancholics go deep. To avoid mistakes or missing details, Sam needs to pause and plan thoroughly, not just act quickly. These are some of the skills a choleric can pick from each of other personality traits that can help create more balance. We all know choleric gets things done faster because their attention is focused on the goal, the win, the success. But to keep people with them, they must borrow emotional intelligence or emotional balance from the phlegmatic, people skills from the sanguine, and detail orientation from the melancholies. Mr. Sam and his team will still win projects, they will still be successful, but this time it's going to be with a happy team and thriving team, with a team with better morale. And that's what we're saying. That is what leadership is. Leadership is not all about the push, all about the win, all about the pressure, but it's all about being able to strike the balance so you have a more happy and healthier team. Another reason is this helps you to relate better with a wider variety of people, different personality. You understand why each person is acting the way they are acting. I understand you, you understand me, helps the world become more beautiful. And lastly, I love this. It also helps to help you build healthier relationships, healthier teams, and marriages. It helps you to choose the right partner because choosing the right partner, it is not just based on attraction, but emotional compatibility. It also helps to improve your parenting skills. Remember, your personality it isn't a prison. It is a platform. You can grow beyond your dominant traits and build new ones for the betterment of you. Oh yes, looks like we're wrapping up to this discussion or the discussion around personality. But just before we go, just like we do, we're going to do a quick recap of what we have been able to discuss today. We have not been able to discuss so many things. Little, but insightful, valuable, as such that can help us navigate through life. All right, so we talked about being possible to have a strong, developed personality. And also, we mentioned that you also can have more than one for the betterment of you. Oh, yes, looks like we're wrapping up to this discussion or the discussion around personality. But just before we go, just like we do, we're going to do a quick recap of what we have been able to discuss today. We have not been able to discuss so many things. Little, but insightful, valuable, as such that can help us navigate through life. All right, so we talked about being possible to have a strong, developed personality. And also, we mentioned that you also can have more than one strong, developed personality. If you have more than one developed personality, you can also have traits of other personality. We also talked about the fact that you can have strong, developed personality and don't have much traits of other personality. And that means that developed personality is your strength. You're not boxing yourself as identifying yourself with the strong, developed personality. However, you want to identify the strengths, identify the weaknesses as well in your personality and in other personality type. And you want to improve on this personality to help you navigate through life more successfully. We talked about the importance of doing this. What else did we talk about? I think those are the things we're able to touch on. We also talked about the Did You Know session. Interesting? Interesting. That is all I have for you in this segment. In our next video, we're going to be talking about something very important. While choosing your life partner or your spouse, are you supposed to choose someone that is your type, the type of your personality, or someone that is even opposite? Let's touch on that in the next edition of Be Thinkers. I will see you then. Bye for now. Bye.